Hey everybody, I'm Kimberly, and so the reason I'm here is because I want to talk to you about my process of getting a laparoscopic hysterectomy. I actually had the robotic hysterectomy, which was, you ready for this? Phenomenal. Yes, my video today is actually to tell you how amazing this whole process has been, how amazing the prep was, how amazing, and I'm saying amazing, this whole procedure has been. I am 2 weeks post-surgery and I feel phenomenal. All right. So what happened is I just got my surgery a couple weeks ago and I was nervous, totally nervous. And leading up to it, I watched every YouTube video. I asked all my friends. I asked the doctor a million questions because I was nervous. I was concerned. I was scared, y'all. And I did not want to go under the knife and not come back, right? So I was totally scared. I didn't know where to look. I didn't know what to read. And I wish I hadn't watched some of the videos I did, but I did. Here we are. And my experience has been totally different than a lot of videos that I watch. So there probably are some videos with people saying how great it is. I just didn't find those. I didn't know where to find them. I'm not saying they're not there. They're probably there. But my friend said, hey, why don't you do a video talking about how great your experience was? Because everybody does not have a great experience. And it's not that because I'm so great or that I did something awesome. It's just simply, I believe, one, I trust God. And two, we just had a lot of people around me and around us that gave us great advice. They gave us great information. The doctors, the staff, my husband being a nurse, my mother-in-law being a nurse, just got great information. And so being a mother of 8 children, because you guys don't know my story, being a mother of 8 children, 5 that actually came through my womb, I've never taken the epidural anyway. So I'm already that person. I've had 4 children with no epidural and 1 with an epidural. And after the first time, I was like, no way, I can't feel my legs. I'm not doing this again. And so the next 4 I had with no epidural, just straight, let's get it out. And I breathed through it. And I've actually been able to help other women go through childbirth because I really believe it's mental. It's a mind thing. And so that was one of the things that helped me. That's your first point, is it's a mind thing. Okay. So this is your first point, is it's a mind thing. Remember that it's a mindset. How you go into this surgery, how you go into your procedure, and any procedure is your mind. I know you're going to be nervous. I know you're going to be scared. I know you're wondering what's going to happen and what's going to happen to you and your body, but you've got to get your mind right. So it's the first tip that I've got to give you before I talk about anything else, is get your mind right. So this is the second tip. And these tips I'm going to give you today are really just tips that I've learned and strategies and things that have worked for me. And prayerfully, they'll work for you too. And you're more than welcome to reach out to me and go to the profile up there or down there and get our information and reach out to me. Okay. So the second tip and step, this is really what I learned from the doctor in speaking with her for my pre-appointments. And just so you know, I had my surgery at the Veterans Hospital. So I was already nervous, I'm a veteran and I'm going to this veterans hospital. I don't want to get nothing I didn't come in with, right? That's our mindset. So number one, you already know our mindset was the first topic and the first tip. Make sure your mind is right. So this is the step, because now I'm going right into what happened the 48 hours before the procedure, okay? So now here we are, 24 to 48 hours before your procedure. They told us not to eat. They told me not to eat solid foods at a certain time and I had to stop liquids at a certain time. But I figured, this is mindset, that I probably shouldn't eat a lot of bad stuff that I'm going to need to number 2 out because I'm going to surgery. 1, I don't want a number 2 in the surgery room, right? Accidentally. And number 2, after surgery, how am I going to feel? I'm really not going to feel like doing that and using any of those muscles down there. So 48 hours before, I was already eating vegetables. I was already changing my diet, my habits, because I love cheeseburgers. I love French fries. But I was already changing my habits before the procedure because I knew I didn't want to have all that in my body trying to get it out. Because people already told me you may not have a bowel movement right away. So I was already concerned about that. I don't want to have anything backed up that I got to try to get out with some new stuff. So that was already a no-go, right? So I already had these bowel movements and these things that I was like, I hope I'm not going to have. So I stopped eating. I changed my diet. earlier than 48 hours. I went to vegetables and stuff that was going to be more palatable for me, so I wouldn't have that issue. Okay, so that is your tip, is that you change your diet, change what you're eating more than 48 hours. I know they say 24 to 40. Don't eat more than 24 hours. They tell you, so I said before, change your diet, but when they really say don't eat more than 24 hours, don't wait until like the last moment, because I think mine was like 9 p.m. I could stop eating, and I was going to eat till 8:59. Don't do that. If they say 9 p.m. to stop eating at like 8. You know what I mean? At 7 if you can. 5 o'clock, have your dinner. And so that was our plan in our house, was, listen, we're going to eat early the day before, because I really don't want to go into the night with a heavy stomach thinking about it the day before the procedure, because I had to show up at the hospital the day of surgery at 7 a.m. So don't try to eat late, okay? That's your next tip. Here's another one I'm just going to throw in for you. This is a freebie, and this was something I did. In order to calm myself down and in order to not think about everything that was happening, I made some videos, because we have children, and I was concerned that if something did happen, if I did not come back, I wanted to make sure they had videos. I wanted to make sure they could hear my voice. I wanted to make sure they could see me. And so I made a bunch of short clips that didn't talk about death. It didn't talk about not being here anymore. It was just short clips that talked about just life and, hey, how are you guys doing? And this is mommy. This is what I love. This is what I love to eat. This is what I love to do. And I just want you to hear my voice. And so that was what helped calm me down. So that's a freebie for you guys, is I just made a bunch of short clips that said, listen, you know what, Kim? If you're not going to be here tomorrow, if God does decide that you have done good, you've done good, you faithful servant, now go home, or you stay with me in paradise. I just wanted to make sure I left some clips. So that was some freebies I just wanted to throw in for you guys, that really helped me calm down and relax, was that I could make a video, that my children would be okay, my husband would be okay. And so I made a couple short videos that I clearly didn't need because I'm still here, but I made some of those. And so those might help you too. Before your procedure and the day of your procedure, they're going to give you that little liquid stuff that you need to clean with. Make sure you clean, okay? Do exactly what they tell you. Rinse your whole body, let it sit for a few minutes, and then rinse it off. Put it on your whole body, let it sit, and rinse it off. Do exactly what they're telling you. You don't want to have any infections when it comes to them putting holes in your body, okay? You don't want to have an infection. And then the next morning, they tell you to cleanse and rinse off as well. Do that. They even told me I couldn't have artificial nails on, no acrylic, no polish on my toes. I took all that off. You see, I got them back. Was I hurt? Was I sad? Yes. But for the procedure, I did it. Actually, I had to pull my hair up. I went to my stylist 2 days before my procedure so she could cleanse my hair, wash my hair, and just make sure I wanted to be clean. No makeup, no lashes, no nothing. So I'm not even going to show you guys that video of Operation Day. But, I did exactly what they said to do. And then when I got to the hospital and checked in, they had me scrub off again. So just understand, they're going to have you scrub a lot of times. I knew that they were going to be doing my lower stomach area right above my belly button. So I made sure I cleansed that area a lot, all the way from left to right. I made sure I cleansed it. Legs, thighs, all of that. So before the procedure, they had me cleanse off again. And then I got in my little hospital gown and they wheeled me over. So now, mind you, I had mine done in the VA hospital, and so everybody's situation may be different, but when I went over for mine, I don't remember anything, praise God. The last thing I remember was the nurse talking to me, and the anesthesiast talked to me for a long time, but then the nurse came and said, we're going to put your hair up in a little, bonnet thing, and the anesthesiast talked me through it, told me that my IV was going to begin and that they were going to put in some calm down medicine for me, and then some anesthesia was going to go through me, but they would be there with me the whole time. I wouldn't know what was going on. They put a tube down my throat to help me breathe during the procedure, because like my doctor said, it's like the same stuff they gave Michael Jackson. So you're going to be gone. You're going to be away. And then we bring you back. And so the anesthesiologist made me feel so comfortable, and his assistant, they made me feel so comfortable that I don't remember what happened after we talked. We talked, then another nurse talked to me, and I remember some other wonderful ladies coming in and putting the compression things around my legs, and that was it. Literally, I guess I faded off to sleep, went to sleep, and when I woke up, I was in recovery. So everybody's story is not like that. That was just mine. Bless God. I don't remember a bright light or anything that people talk about. So I was gone before I even got to the operating room. And then when I came out, I was in recovery. And there were other people, you know, in other like bays, I guess, that were near me. And so when I was in recovery, I just remember the lady just saying, hey, Kimberly, hey, how are you? Are you doing okay? All right, good. You did great. And she told me, she said, your breathing tube is already out. You're good. And your catheter. So when I woke up, there was no catheter. There was no breathing tube. Hallelujah. So I was already in a great place. And that's what the lady told me. I was already in a great place. My husband videotaped it. So I'm trying to go off of what I saw on the videotape. I was talking a little special, a little extra, and I talked about some angels or some people that were with me. And so we don't have to show that clip, but it was a good experience. And I remember getting to the room. And so I'm going to talk to you guys about some things for the room. But I remember getting to the room and kind of it wearing off. And I remember talking to the nurses. And this is the number one thing you need to do. I'm actually going to pause the video because I want to make sure that I show you this machine that you're going to need to breathe into. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. So this is the breathing tube that I was talking about. This is the one that I got. Yours may look different. I don't know. I've seen some different ones on the internet, but this is the breathing tube that they gave me right out of surgery. And the nurse said, you need to breathe. And what happens is it helps the anesthesia and all this stuff get out of your lungs. So you're using your lungs to the most capacity. And it's going to cause you to cough. Listen, let me tell you about this first. So they're going to have you breathe and they want you to get up as high as you can. I think the first time I got up to 2,000, which is really good. I guess people can get up to 4,000. I wasn't there. But the first time I got up to 2,000 and I had to do it like 8 or 10 times. They make you do it back to back and you keep it in these little indicators. So they got these two things. And so when you breathe in, you want to keep it right here. I can kind of show you maybe. Seeing the little thing rises, right? I didn't do it all the way. And it makes you cough because I had to do it like 8 or 9 times. And so what happened was it made me cough. Y'all, I thought I was okay until I coughed. Oh my word. That first cough hurts down deep in your sha-na-na. It hurts. So I want to warn you, I want to tell you that even feeling great as I did, that cough was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna like bust them open. Let me tell you what I got done first of all, right? It was robotic laparoscopic hysterectomy, okay? So that means that usually you get like 4 puncture holes, right? From where they do the surgery. But because it was a robot, I had 5. So I have it from like here to here. And I've got 1, 2, 3 over my belly button. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kind of in a row, right? And so I literally felt like when I coughed, it was like my body was going to bust open. I was so nervous. It did not bust open. They also tell you that you can brace yourself, but that actually hurt more. So, but you have to cough. You want to get that out of your system. And immediately after I coughed, I actually threw up. So throwing up is even better because you're literally getting it out of you, the anesthesia, anything that's left in your body. Because what happens, they said, is you can get pneumonia if you keep that mucus and stuff in your lungs, and you don't want pneumonia, right? So you want to cough. It's going to hurt, but you want to cough. You might throw up. It's okay. Get it out. I threw up. I threw up a total of 3. The first 2 were, you know, little small ones. That third one, bananas. I had never had to throw up again. So get it out. I know it hurts. I know it doesn't feel good. I didn't want to throw up, but I did, and I felt much better afterwards, okay? So these are the things that I dealt with in the room, okay? And then I do want to tell you what happened with the gas. Oh, y'all, I thought the coughing was bad. Everything was still great because I got over it until the gas. This gas bubble had to be from a place down under that just is not talked about. And I felt it on my right side. And I said, okay, maybe that's the pain, because I couldn't tell if it was gas or if it was the stitches. And then I felt it on this side. So I said, okay, that's the other like incisions. That's the other whatever. So it's probably just hurting. And then I went to do something. I don't even know. I think it was another cough moment. And that thing moved into my chest. I thought I got punched as hard as they could in my chest. That thing hurt so bad. I mean, I was crying from a place I didn't have any tears, y'all. And usually, and I was trying to tell my nurse, like, listen, pain does not bother me usually. I don't take epidurals. I've been great for all of this. Even the coughing hurt, but did not hurt like this. I mean, I was crying from a place of I didn't even know how to talk. And she said, and they're all like, my husband's a nurse, his mom is a nurse, the nurse is in there, and we're just like, I don't know what's wrong. They took my blood pressure. They're like, she doesn't have a fever. I don't know what's going on. Her blood pressure's up because she's freaking out, but she has no fever. So I don't know what's going on with you. And we're like, we're looking at your stuff. I don't know what's going on with you, but I can feel this pain in my body. And because I didn't know the difference, I figured it was from the surgery. And so I am freaking out. I am like, oh, I mean, this is like, you better give me something for the pain. And she's like, we just gave you, you know what, not oxycodone, whatever it was called. We just gave you the heavy pain medicine. What's your problem? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, this is not breakthrough pain. This is like pain. This is like I got shot or stabbed or something in my chest. And immediately the nurse, great, thank God for great nurses. She said, sit up a little, right? In pain. You can do this. Sit up a little and dangle your feet off the bed. And my husband said, yeah, if it's gas, she just needs to dangle her feet off the bed. It might start moving, because they weren't sure if I could stand up yet. They weren't sure if I could walk. I still had just been hours out of my surgery. And so they leaned my legs off the bed. And y'all, it was as if something, and she told me to breathe. It was as if she had the magic word, if she had the right word, and it just moved. It was as if she had the blessing of the Lord on her. Listen, this thing moved as soon as I turned my ankles over the bed. So I want to encourage you. You get this done. No, one, you're going to have to cough. No, two, you're going to have gas. And so immediately I tried to eat like turkey and some mashed potatoes they gave me. Don't be in a rush to eat. Drink a lot of water, because your IV drip in the water is probably not going to do it fast enough. Drink a lot of water. Don't be in such a hurry to eat like meat and foods that are going to make you gassy. And try to just dangle your feet off the bed. Even if you can't walk or you can't stand up, get in another position so that gas can move. And once the gas moved, y'all, it was heaven again on earth. The other pain medicine was doing its job. So I want to encourage you, if it's gas, move that gas. Get it moving and cough like they tell you to cough. All right? Okay, now let's talk about having to use the bathroom, going number 1. Okay, this is very important, because these are all things. I only stayed in the hospital one day. These are all things they're going to check for to make sure you can go home and that you're going to do okay at home. Okay, so I encourage you this too. When you go talk to your doctor and you're going for your hysterectomy, a lot of people like to go home the same day. My doctor recommends staying one day. I love that she did that, because if I had been at home throwing up, coughing, I would have been gas. I would have been coming back to the emergency room. So I do agree with my doctor, and I recommend that you stay one day. Not recommend, because I'm not a doctor, but I suggest. That's just something that worked for me. I think it'll work for you, is you stay 24 hours. So going number 1, using the regular restroom. Going number 1. Immediately, mind you, I didn't have a catheter in anyway. So I didn't remember having one in. I just had to use the bathroom, and they gave me the little plastic one that you could use in the bed, right? So mentally, because we talked about mindset in the beginning, mentally my mind could not wrap around holding something plastic in the bed and trying to pee. It couldn't do it. My mind just would not get with that. So every time she asked me to do it, I could not do it. I said, this is just not, I can't mentally. And I finally expressed that, listen, mentally, I just cannot do this. I can't sit in the bed and pee. I just can't. I'm just not that person. So they were concerned about me standing up and using the bathroom, because you're not supposed to. They need to collect your urine and make sure you're okay. So I said, okay, well, I don't know. So my husband said, well, stand up and hold the plastic device and pee into that. And I was still like, I don't know. But I stood up and I was okay. So they said, okay, if you can stand up, and surely you can hold this and we can try to pee into that. Because if you don't pee into that, they're going to have to give you a catheter. And you don't want a catheter, right? So I stood up and tried to pee a couple times. Nothing was working. And I'm like, oh gosh. It was still mental. I knew I had to pee into this cup, and I was worried about peeing everywhere, peeing on somebody. I didn't want to do it. And so my husband said, listen, watch this. So he turned, my husband's so smart. I love him. He turned the water on, the faucet. And you know how you hear water running and they say, stick your finger under the water, whatever? He turned it on. Nothing happened. So usually people say, stick your finger under the running water, it'll make you pee. But I couldn't walk all the way over there. So they got me a cup of water, and I stuck my finger in the water. And y'all, I peed. Victory! I used the restroom on my own hours after anesthesia and coming out of the surgery. So these are tips that I have got to share with you. I did not want to leave them to myself because I saw this on some other YouTube videos where people were saying they had trouble using the bathroom. I even know someone that had the surgery and she had to get a catheter in and wear it home. And so I'm trying to help you guys. Listen, I don't know all of it, but I know this worked for me. And if this can work for me, it might work for you. It was a mental thing. I couldn't do it, but I knew I didn't want a catheter. So he ran the water. The water didn't work. I stuck my finger in the water and I peed. And from that moment on, I peed. I think maybe one more time I had to stick my finger in water or just run water in general. And I peed. After that, smooth sailing. And I drank a lot of water because the IV drip was not enough water, right? Because you're dehydrated. I was in surgery for hours. So the more water I drank, my body said, oh, okay, we're going to the bathroom. And before you know it, I was using the bathroom on the toilet. I think by the end of that night, she was like, yep, you can walk, you can use it on the toilet. So this leads me to the next point that is so very important that my doctor said, my nurse said, and I believe it helped tremendously, is to walk. Even before you leave the hospital, you have to walk. If I could stand up like I did and I could walk, because I had to get that gas off, I had to walk. So even after they dangled my legs, they still suggested that I walked, and I did. I took a lap around the nurse's station. The first time I didn't get around the nurse's station. The first walk, everybody was holding me, and I went like 6 paces and came back, right? And then I went a little further and came back. Then they said, well, can you do it on your own? So by that night, maybe by like midnight that night, I was able to walk around the nurse's station on my own. And then the next morning, because I said, I'm going home, I walked the nurse's station twice. And 3 times, and I was able to eat. I was able to use the restroom, number 1, and my doctor came in and said, yeah, you know what, you are ready to go home. So I went home the next day. I'm literally, it had to be, it might not even have been 24 hours because I went into surgery. Yes, it was, because I went into surgery like at 9 and I went home about 1. So it was 24 hours and it was phenomenal. Now, when I got home, I still had my pain medicine, y'all. Don't let me pretend like I'm Superwoman. I had my pain medicine. I was going number 1, still hadn't gone number 2 yet. But I had my pain medicine and I was able to walk. And so they wheeled me out and I was okay. And I was on both pain medicines. I think the oxycodone was one and the stool softener and then Motrin or something like that. And so you only use those heavy ones for the real strong pain. And I knew those added to constipation as well, all the medicines. So I said, okay, I'm just going to take them when I need them. And sure enough, that was day 1. Day 2, when I went home. Day 3, I maybe took a Motrin. No strong pills, just the Motrin for pain and stool softener. And literally by day 4, no pain. No pain pill needed. There was a little bit of pain, but it wasn't like I needed a pain pill because I told myself I want to be able to use the restroom. And so by day 3, I was going number 2 by day 3, which is phenomenal. For those of you that have had it, you know day 3 is, wow, let's get it. Let's get our life back. So I was able to go number 2. Was it rough? Yes. Was it a little tougher than usual? Yes, but I did it. And I took my stool softener. And so now I am like 2 weeks in and I'm doing this video because I realized I wanted to get a week or 2 in before I even talked about what was going on. And I feel better, but I think I am at 2 weeks in going to take a stool softener just because I got back to kind of eating regular foods that, yeah, will still bind you up. So make sure you're eating salads and stuff with fiber. That'll help you go. And I may just need like 1 stool softener just to make it easier. I still been going. But I just want to do that to kind of make it easier. But as far as my incisions, I told you they're right over my belly button and they're going across and it's the 5. But as far as they go, I have the stitches and the glue over it. And so, I mean, that's like all gone. Most of the extra glue that was there is kind of like coming off because I've been showering every day. I just don't touch those. But I've got the glue over the stitches, so I'm curious to kind of see when the glue comes off, what's going to happen. And so like I said, as for pain, I really don't feel much, but I know on the inside, my body's still trying to get itself together. And for those of you who may wonder, I got everything out except my ovaries. So I kept my ovaries so I wouldn't have to worry about hormones, but I did get my tubes and my uterus out. So I did take care of that because in 2007 I was diagnosed with cervical cancer, so I just wanted to have any issues. And I had large fibroids, and every baby that I had made them larger. And she actually said I had an extra fibroid like stemming out away from my uterus, so it was great that we had the whole procedure done. She didn't have to do any extra cutting, any extra holes. The robotic part actually gave her, she said, the hand that she needed, and she was able to still just take them out naturally, vaginally, which was awesome. So again, my procedure was done at the Veterans Hospital here in Florida, and it was phenomenal. I'm so appreciative of them and their staff. Everybody just did an amazing job, from the pre to the post. Everything has been amazing. I go back for my checkup next week. I'm super excited, but I'm glad I did it. And I'm 39 years old. I wasn't in great shape, and I didn't eat great, perfect, but I did do okay. And I knew what I had to do to get better. I knew what I had to do to not just sit around and feel bad for myself and, you know, not be the mom and wife that I needed to be. And so I want to encourage you guys that it may hurt, it may take a lot out of you. And I'm like the superwoman. I want to get up and do it. You have to rest when they tell you to rest. And even now, I still need to rest a lot. I find myself, I can't pick up my 1-year-old. I'm not even going to try. There's a lot of stuff I can't do. Even when we go on walks, I can't stay out forever, walking forever. I find myself getting tired. And that's still, it's only been 2 weeks. So drink a lot of water. Take your time. I hope this video helped you. Again, if you want to reach out to me, you can email us. You can look at the information above or below, and it's info@keepersinternational.org. You can reach out to us. You can ask questions. I am not a nurse, not a doctor. My husband is a nurse, and my mother-in-law is a nurse. I'm an esthetician, and so I care about skincare and facials and skin. But I just had this procedure done after birthing 5 children, even after being told we couldn't have children. Back in 2007, we've had 3 since that diagnosis. So I'm just here to tell you that it's possible, to tell you that whatever it is that you're doing in your life, and even me, I put it off. I put it off for so many years, and I just didn't have to, because I was scared. I was nervous. I didn't know how it was going to happen. But you do things in God's timing, and you do things according to when you're ready also. And so this was a good time for us. We were ready. My husband and I knew that, you know, we had the resources, we had the finances, we had things in place, we had help. So you got to make sure you have help. My parents in love, mother and father in love, both came to sit with us and stayed with us for 2 weeks. So you got to have the support that you need. When you have 5 children running around, 6 kids running around, 16 and under running around, you need help in the house, especially when you just come home from surgery. So those are just things to look out for. I gave you guys some tips. I'll do a quick rundown again at the end of the things that you need, or the things that you need to pre-pack and prepare. But again, these are just some tips and procedures and some things that worked for me, and I hope it works for you. Have a great day. Okay, bag pack. I just want to tell you what to pack in your bag. Listen, can I be honest? I packed a bag. I didn't even get to use it. But pack your bag just in case. So I packed loose-fitting pajamas, like a sleep shirt, because you're not going to be wanting to worry about your belly area at all. So I packed a big sleep shirt that you can get from anywhere. And then I had loose-fitting underwear. I had some sanitary napkins, pads, didn't have any bleeding, which is phenomenal. So you may need a panty liner for a little bit. And even during the surgery, she said I bled minimally, so that's phenomenal. But you do need to pack those items. If you are like me and you're concerned about your hair, pack a bonnet to put your hair in at night. Take a toothbrush, toothpaste. The hospital supplied a lot of that stuff, so I didn't need it, but it's just good to pack yours because I don't know where you're going at your hospital. Make sure you have socks. They gave me socks, so make sure you have nice, comfortable socks. If you want a robe, bring a robe, because like I said, when I did my lap around the nurse's station, I needed a robe or something to put on, so my gown wasn't gaping open. They actually gave me another robe to put over my gown, but those are just things to pack. Make sure you take reading materials, take a charger for your phone, for your tablet, headphones. I had a nice TV set up, but the headphones work nice too, if you want surround sound. So I had that, and I had my phone, I had my tablet, because you're going to be in the bed. You're going to be in the bed for a little bit. So take some stuff, you know, crossword puzzles, things that are going to interest you, and get some rest. Enjoy yourself. Don't take all your expensive jewelry. You're just going in for surgery and coming back out. Don't take all of that stuff. Just take, the bare necessities, a bra, underwear, stuff like that. Just the bare necessities that you need. So that's your backpack. All right, guys. So as I told you, this is the end of the video. I am 2 weeks out from my post-procedure. Okay, guys, this is the end of the video. I told you I'm 2 weeks out. I'm still a little bloated, but I feel great. And I just wanted to give you something that would change your mind and your perspective about this procedure. Make sure you get a lot of information. Make sure you ask a lot of questions. I ask questions. My husband asks questions. How long was I going to be down? How long do we have to refrain from worship with each other? So ask a lot of questions and make sure you get them answered, okay? And take care. I hope your procedure goes just as good as mine. And if it doesn't, reach out. I still encourage you to, even if you didn't have all the information that you have now, go from now and try to make it better. Drink a lot of water, walk around, reach out to your doctor, reach out to some nurses, ask a lot of questions in the hospital before you go home. Because I was even told, some people didn't know about stool softeners. Stool softeners. You need a stool softener. With the medicine you're taking, it's going to constipate you. You're going to need a stool softener. And it helps to eat salad, natural roughage. It's going to help. Drink a lot of water, okay? And get prepared before you go into the surgery. Go in at your best, okay? So you can come out at your best. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, and if you haven't subscribed, don't you want to subscribe to us? Keepers International. Just hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you later. Bye.